Okay, today I'll be providing you the information about the Indian polity and governance. There is constitutional information, political systems information, and constitution development of India. Okay, first one is constitution development of India. So, for the first point is Indian constitution is the lengthiest written constitution in the world. So, this is the lengthiest written constitution in the world. The development of this constitution in its present form has its roots in British rule. So this constitutional development in the present form means now what we are using now has some of the British rules also. Okay, let's come to the second point. A Constituent Assembly which was formed in 1946 as suggested by M.N. Ray in 1934. Okay, the Constituent Assembly which was formed in 1940. When was this Constituent Assembly formed? It was formed in 1946. And who suggested this? Suggestion was given by M.N. Ray. When it was been suggested, it was suggested in 1934. In 1934 it was been suggested, and then it was formed in 1946. There is a gap of 12 years, right? Okay. When was this regulating act? Let's come to regulating act of 1773. When was this regulating act happened? It was in 1773. Okay, it was the first. What was it? It was the first step taken by the British government. This regulating act was the first step taken by the British government. What? For the control and the regulation of the affairs of East India Company in India. Okay, there are some affairs of East India Company in India which needs to be controlled and regulated. So it was in 1773. Okay, let's come to the second point. This regulating act made a Governor General of Bengal and an executive council which was created for what? Which was created for providing assistance to Governor General. Okay, we will be providing assistance to what? To whom? Governor General. Okay, let's come to third point. Lord Warren Hastings became the first Governor General of Bengal. So who was the first Governor General of Bengal? Lord Warren Hastings. Okay, Lord Warren Hastings became the first Governor General of Bengal. Okay, okay. Uh, the act also laid the provisions for the establishment of Supreme Court at Calcutta. This act also laid the provisions for the establishment of Supreme Court at Calcutta. So the Supreme Court was established in Calcutta at that moment, and with one Chief Justice and three other judges. There is one Chief Justice and three other judges. Okay, so what was the name of the one Chief Justice? Sir Elijah Impey was appointed as the Chief Justice. So the name of the Chief Justice was Elijah Impey and was established in 1774. So the Supreme Court was established in 1774 with one Chief Justice named was Sir Elijah Impey. Okay, let's come to Pitt's India Act of 1784. Pitt's India's Act, which was in 1784, was passed to rectify the defects of Regulating Act of 1773. So there were some defects in Regulating Act, which was rectified by this Pitt's Act. By this Pitt's India Act, this Regulating Act was rectified, right? And what was the year? It was in 1784. Okay, the second point is this act separated the commercial functions of the company. Okay, this act separate the commercial function of the company from political functions. Court of directors were allotted. Okay, I don't need this one. With controlling consists of 6 members. Okay, there was a board of control consists of 6 members was appointed for handling this political affairs. So for handling these political affairs there was 6 members, right? Okay, let's come to Charter Act of 1813. Okay, it deprived the East India Company of its monopoly of trade. Its monopoly of trade means the trade which was only one. Okay, it deprived the East India Company with India except for tea and trade with China, except for tea, which was not included. Tea was not included, and trade with China and trade relations with China. Okay, second point, the act regulated the company's territorial revenue. Okay, this act regulate what regulations was there for territorial revenue means the income of the local territorials and commercial profits and the profits gained from the trade. It was asked to keep its territorial and commercial accounts separate. Okay. It was asked to keep its territorial. Territorial means local areas and commercial accounts separate. Those should be different, right? Okay. Christians missionaries, next point, Christian missionaries were allowed to work in India. Were in India who were allowed to work Christian missionaries. There are missionaries where Christians work